Hi guys, in this video I am going to go over a few editing tips for your final project, mostly based off common errors that I've seen in your guys' rough drafts that you've turned in. So I'm going to just use person 3 as an example, but obviously this is going to be true for all of the people except for yo. It's probably going to be a little different grammatically. Okay, so likes and dislikes. Let's talk about that. So make sure that you have before the person's name, le gusta, and then whatever they like. So the things I've seen the most are people forgetting the not good. Make sure you get that in there. And make sure you have le. I saw a couple people put te. That does not work. Also, another reminder is that these, if they're verbs here, that they need to be in the infinitive form. So by infinitive, that means they need to end in er, ar, or ir. And of course, if they're nouns, then you might have to use gustan. So if it's one thing, we're going to use gusta, like me gusta la leche. And if it's plural, las manzanas, le gustan las manzanas. And if it's a verb that ends in er, ar, or ir, it's gusta. And do not conjugate those verbs. So those are my main recommendations on likes and dislikes. So go ahead and go through all of your people and make sure that you've done all of those things for likes and dislikes. Okay, moving on to physical description here. Make sure you use the correct form of ser. If you're talking about one person, it's just going to be es. If you're talking about multiple people, then it'll be son. If you're talking about yo, then it's going to be soy. So es, I'm just going to do an easy one here. Es baja. So this would be if I'm talking about a girl. So make sure that your adjectives agree in gender and number with the person you're talking about. So bajo, baja, bajos, bajas, depending. And make sure that you have ser correctly conjugated. So go through and check that for personality and physical description for all the people. Okay, the next thing we are going to look at is the activities now versus the usual activities. So if you're talking about activities now, you can use ahora, now. And activities usually, you can use normalmente, which is kind of like normally. And then the biggest thing here that I saw was conjugating those verbs. So let's say that now they like to relax and eat. You're going to say, she likes to relax. She relaxes. She eats a lot. She plays volleyball. So you're going to want to make sure you're conjugating those verbs. So if we're doing comer, you're not going to put comer. You're going to conjugate it. Come, descansa. So make sure all of your verbs are conjugated for both of these, not just one. Okay, moving on to age. Make sure you use tener and the number of years they have and años. Make sure you have the correct form of tener. For yo, it'll be tengo. Relationship. So this is their relationship to you. Some of you guys put married, single. It's complicated. Don't do that. You're going to do their relationship to you. So, es mi madre, for example. Okay? So make sure you have the correct form of ser and make sure you have mi. Me is my. If you're talking about more than one person here, you would say son mis hermanas. So to say my, if you're talking about hermanas, then you would use mis, and then you have to use son. They are. And last, but certainly not least, we have comparisons. So that's what we did this week. You're going to write 2 comparisons. They can be comparing them to 2 different people, or they can be comparing 2 different traits. So we could say, es más simpática que mi padre, for example. So in this one, you want to make sure you have ser, of course, and then más que, and you want to make sure that this agrees with the person, the first person. In this case, it's mi madre es más simpática que. So make sure you have that a there. So go through right now on all your comparisons and make sure you have más que, unless you're using an irregular, and make sure you have es or son if you're talking about 2 people. So that's everything. Go through this. You can do it on your own. You can send it to a friend and you guys can edit each other's. Whatever you guys want to do is fine with me, but make sure you do go through and look for some of these mistakes that you know about, but maybe they're just silly mistakes. And of course, as always, let me know what questions you guys have. I'm getting excited to see your projects.